I'd like to share with you one of the biggest secrets that the world hides from us, I think. And the reason I say hide from us is because I I have been having health issues for the last since I was 17, 27, 37, 47, 30 over years. Yeah, 30 over years. And I think that if I had been educated sufficiently, I would not have to undergo all these health challenges at all, like literally at all. Because now I know how the body works. And so I feel that if people really understood how the body works and had this education, they will not get sick, or if they did get sick, they would bounce back very quickly. And even very critical illnesses can be reversed if they knew how. And so that's why I want to share with you what I know so that you do not have to go through what I have gone through since I was 17, having all these chronic illnesses and then getting worse in my 40s. And it's just unnecessary. A lot of time is wasted, a lot of money is wasted, a lot of damage is done to the body because you have to take a lot of drugs, and that kind of makes certain things go haywire in your body. So if you can go natural, you should always go natural. So let me tell you where it all begins. Thing number one that people don't know is that our emotions are heavily linked to our body, meaning our emotions play a huge role in us getting sick. Secondly, our stress levels also plays a huge role in us getting sick. And thirdly, our lifestyle habits. So that includes everything that we do and everything that we put into our body and everything that we are exposed to. And this is a huge area where a lot of people are not aware, because it's not just what you eat and the smells that you're inhaling. There is just so much more into this that affects your health. So you really need to understand your body so that you can best take care of it. And the reason you really want to know this is so that you never have to, so that you own your body, you own the health of your body, and so that you never have to depend on a third party to be responsible for your body. Because this is your body and you only have one. You are only going to live once. So why would you give it to someone else to be responsible for it, right? You should be less ignorant, own it, grow up, learn about it, and take care of it. God gave you a body, so take care of it. And if you actually own it, own your health, then you'll never have to depend on anyone else. You would never have to go to the hospital. You would never have to depend on third parties for making the decisions as to what goes into your body and what gets done and whatsoever. I mean, seriously, do you think you would care for your body more, or do you think a third party would care for your body more? Who do you think cares for your body more? Who do you think would really stay up for 6 months on end to make sure you are alive, to keep you alive? Just think about it, okay? Who would stay up for 6 months on end to keep your body alive? You or someone else? A complete stranger? Really? So the bottom line is, do you want to live better? Because some people, they have such a shit life, they just don't want to live anymore. And that's their prerogative. But if you have your health and you want to live better, or even if you have illness and you want to live better and you want to get out of illness, it is possible. Let me tell you, it is possible. And I've been there and I've done it. So I really want you to know how I did it, and so that you can do it too. Now, we have 3 brains, being the brain in our head, and the brain in our heart, and the brain in our gut. These 3 brains play huge parts in our health. And then we have the pipes that connects the 3 brains, which is our circulatory system, which transfers all the blood. And then we have the lymphatic system, which gets rid of all the toxic waste that our body cannot process. And then there is the meridian system that a lot of us miss, and this is where our emotions come in. So if you are ill and the doctor says there is nothing more I can do for you, you have 2 choices. You can either believe him or you can choose to fight. And I have known people who have chosen to fight and they have won. So my message to you is, don't just take for granted what someone else says. If you want to fight, you can fight. So let me give you a bit of background about how my diseases came along. It started with sinusitis. When I was 17 years old, I had sinusitis, and I also had very, very bad period pains. Probably had PCOS then and endometriosis, but not knowing anything about it, just kind of endured the pain every month, every other month. One time it got so bad that I was just squatting in the school steps in agony, and I couldn't breathe, I couldn't talk, I was just in so much pain. But eventually the pain goes away and then you just kind of live life again. My sinus was so bad, it was chronic. Whenever I had an attack, I would finish up like a whole box of tissues because it's like an ever running tap that cannot be closed. Even if you inhale it, it still drops out. I'm sure some of you have been through that before. And so you just have to have these tissues to keep picking up the fluids, right? And so for my sinuses, what I did when I was 17 was I started reflexology. My grandmother brought me to reflexology, and that really helped. So I did that, and thereafter I went to England, and it seemed to resolve itself. Maybe because of the weather, or maybe because I was happier, I don't know. And I definitely have found that when I am happy, I seem to have less diseases. It's really interesting. So sinus went, period pains went as well, and then suddenly in England, when my parents had a divorce, I started getting pain in my body. Really, really unexplained pain. And it turned out to be fibromyalgia, and I was also diagnosed with hemiplegic migraine, which made my whole half body paralyzed with a dull pain. Does that make sense? I cannot describe it, but it was paralyzed, but it had a pain as well. It was a very dull, kind of awful kind of pain. It's like when you're having contractions when you're giving birth. It's that kind of dull, annoying pain. So I had that. And I missed so much work in England because I was working there, that it was just crazy. It was crazy. This was like affecting my life. And so in the end, I left the UK to come back to Malaysia. And the doctors here, they gave me antidepressants, some neurological drugs, and I had so many drugs, right? A whole cocktail of drugs. And mind you, when I was in England, I forgot to mention, I was also in hospital every winter for asthma, because I had weak lungs and I had asthma, and every winter it was too cold and I would get an asthma attack, and then I'll be in there for like 1 or 2 weeks. So coming back to Malaysia, after taking these steroids, right, which the doctor wanted me to take for 6 months, I started getting fat, bloated, and I took it upon myself that I'm going to stop this crap and I'm going to take control of my health. Coincidentally, I had a new boyfriend. He made me happy, and then I became happy, and I was okay again. I mean, all these medical issues just melted away, just like that. I swear to God, I did not do anything else but just be happy, ecstatically happy, and they just left. No more pain, no more anything. I was free. And then, fast forward till I was in my 40s when I started volunteering with a lot of moms and started work and started getting stressed again. And to be fair, I've never really taken good care of my health, meaning I eat whatever I want, anytime I want, however much I want. I was a smoker off and on sometimes, not a chronic smoker, not a daily smoker, but I was a social smoker, and I did smoke. I didn't really drink much, but I did drink, and I didn't sleep. Okay, that was like the worst thing, because I really, really didn't sleep very much all my life. It was just I wasn't tired, and I did not drink a lot of water. It was not a habit for me to drink water because I just didn't get thirsty. Probably I had some thyroid problems which was not diagnosed, maybe. So fast forward to my 40s, due to all the stress, I was diagnosed with heart disease. I had 2 regurgitating heart valves, and that kind of was a warning, a wake-up call for me, and that told me that I should start taking care of my health. And then while I worked on that, I then had a colon polyps, which was cancerous, and that again was my second wake-up call, because the doctor said that I had to really change my lifestyle if I wanted to live. And he said that I had to cut this out, cut that out, stop doing this, sleep more. And I was like, why bother living then, And then after that, I had a lot of gastro problems. I was bloating and I had stomach ulcers, and eventually from my gastro problems, it was identified that I actually have a tumor in my brain. And then from that, because it was connected to the pituitary, it was also causing me to have thyroid problems. And I have something called Cushing's disease, which basically makes you fat, and a lot of other symptoms, and you really suffer because from all these issues in the last 5 years that I've had, right? I've had to go to the hospital every single year, more than once a year. I've had to do tons of tests, the colonoscopy, the endoscopy, the MRIs. I've had to take medication. It's just a nightmare, okay? Not to mention, every time I go, I have to wait hours for the doctors to get attended to. And then it's all this money going out. And then it's the psychological and emotional pain that comes along with it. There is so much emotional pain that comes with being ill, okay? And then there's the worst part, which is the physical pain. That one, nobody can help, because if you're in pain, you're just in pain and you just suffer it alone in silence. Now, what I found is that a lot of this can be reversed if you knew how to control your diet, your environment, what you put into your body, what you put on your body, meaning your shampoo, your body products, what you inhale, what you're exposed to outdoors, externally, if there are any toxic substances anywhere. And did I mention your emotions? The emotions plays the biggest part. So, I'm not even working right now and so I have no stress, zero stress, no stress from work at all, maybe a little bit from the kids. But I have really come so far in my illnesses. During this COVID time, I have not been to the doctor for about 2 years, and I'm still here and I'm still thriving. And mind you, there are like a million symptoms that I've had with all these diseases, and I have just been solving them by myself, bit by bit, removing the layers, identifying what is bad in my life that I need to remove, and then I would do it, and then things just get better. They really do, I've even had chest pain. I've had x-rays which showed a lump, and that's disappeared. I used to have adrenal pain, and after 6 months that disappeared. I've had headaches, I've got hypertension. So even the gastro problems, it's almost like I've become such a pro and knowing my body so well that I can really manage it. And I find I feel so empowered knowing that I'm going to live for another 50 years of my life till I'm 100. Because prior to that, in my early 40s, the doctor said that I could actually leave this world. His exact words was, die in your sleep, because of the heart stopping. And it's very traumatic when you know you have young children and then you know that you may not live to see them get married. But now, right, whenever someone has illness, I ask them, do you want to live? Do you really want to get better? Because if you do, I can help you. I can genuinely help you get better. But you need to want it. I'm not God, and I'm not a doctor. I'm not qualified at all, but I am so confident because I've done it and I've helped some people get better. I'm so confident that I can help anyone get better if they want it. It's a long process. It's very difficult to get better because your entire lifestyle and habits have to change. But if you want it, then it's a process and it can be done. So that's what I have for you today. I just want you to challenge the norm and not think that having cancer or any other disease, even if critical or chronic, is a life sentence. It's not. You can change it, you can reverse it, you can manage it if you want. So send me a message if you have any questions and I'll be more than happy to help you. And I don't charge. I just want you to be well.